The United Methodist Church in the United States will now officially allow LGBTQ clergy.
The problem is today, it can be pushed in a way that's so different than when we were kids. When we were kids, if you were a gay guy, you became a priest.
Only Muslim-dominated city Hamtramck in Michigan has radically transformed with bans on LGBT flags, animal sacrifice laws, and the call to prayer.
That's why the Muslims are going to win.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sahabat semuanya. Setelah maraknya dukungan terhadap kelompok LGBT dari otoritas gereja dan pemerintah Amerika,
3 Jackson churches combined their services today, welcoming members of minority communities, especially those who identify as LGBTQ.
A Middle Tennessee church getting a lot of attention for supporting gay marriage. In a sermon, a pastor announced the church is not only supporting gay marriage, but also letting gay people become leaders in the church.
You broke your vow, and you, when you became a priest, took a vow of celibacy.
Our sacrifice of celibacy is sacrifice of marriage and family with women. I'm not created for marriage with women, but my nature for my relationship of love is nature of homosexual person. I feel that I'm good priest.
So you say in your letter to the Pope that the clergy is full of homosexuals. Is that really the case?
I know many persons who work in Vatican and are gays. I know it.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology.
kini warga Amerika semakin dibuat resah karena otoritas gereja-gereja di sana mulai menerima seorang gay menjadi pemimpin agama atau pastor mereka. Padahal hal ini jelas-jelas sangat bertentangan dengan ajaran yang ada di Alkitab mereka. Fenomena ini kemudian mengundang komentar dari podcaster terkenal di Amerika, Joe Rogan. Dalam podcastnya dengan komedian Eleanor Kerrigan, mereka menyayangkan betapa mudahnya ajaran kekristenan berubah-ubah. Itulah sebabnya, kata Joe, Islamlah yang nantinya akan menang.
The problem is today, it can be pushed in a way that's so different than when we were kids. When we were kids, if you were a gay guy, you became a priest.
The Catholic Church changes on a dime. Like even something Lent. Right now we're in Lent, right?
Right.
There was so many rules that my mom had that we don't have, like my generation didn't have. And now it's a whole nother, like Lent is not, now I'm looking at kids like, what? You could do that? It's Lent. You're not allowed to, you have to do this, this, and this. But they've changed. They just changed so that they can recruit.
That's why the Muslims are going to win. They don't give a fuck who joins. That's exactly. Ramadan is you got a month and nobody's eating all day long. No water, no food. We were in downtown the other day, and there was this dude that was in an alleyway, and he was the sun was going down, so he's praying.
Oh, I saw that.
Wherever the fuck you are, you gotta pray.
I saw it in New York City,
yeah.
And he was like, and it's so hard to find a space in New York City. So right. I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Devotion.
Exactly. He was behind like a pillar that like went into, there was a little bit of room to go into these offices, and he was literally just behind the pillar just doing that. And I was like, wow.
Hamtramck merupakan sebuah kota pertama di Amerika yang penduduknya jajaran pemerintah dewan kotanya mayoritas muslim. Sampai wali kota terpilihnya pun Amir Galif adalah seorang muslim. Sejak kepemimpinan berada di tangan kaum muslim, kota ini menjadi satu-satunya kota di Amerika yang berani mengeluarkan aturan perundang-undangan yang melarang aktivitas kelompok LGBT.
How Muslims have transformed this American city. It used to be a Polish-dominated town, Polish-American-dominated town, and now it has become a Muslim-majority place. And what they've done is they've passed laws in favor of animal sacrifice. Furthermore, they have introduced a ban on LGBT flags flying from government buildings, which has angered many of the local liberal left-wing population who say that LGBT people no longer feel safe in Hamtramck.
Islam yang seringkali dipandang buruk oleh kebanyakan orang di barat nyatanya menjadi satu-satunya benteng atau tameng yang melindungi peradaban barat termasuk Amerika dari maraknya penyimpangan yang dilakukan oleh warga negaranya sendiri. Banyak dari warganya yang kini mulai menyadari bahwa selama ini mereka telah diprogram untuk membenci agama ini, pada akhirnya meminta maaf. Salah satunya pembawa acara terkenal di Amerika, Candace Owens. Dalam podcastnya bersama George Janko beberapa waktu lalu, dirinya secara pribadi menyampaikan permohonan maafnya kepada umat Islam, begitu menyadari bahwa otaknya telah dicuci oleh pemerintah negaranya sendiri.
I think about it now, the propaganda to make me afraid of Muslims. I can't even imagine being a Muslim growing up after 9/11 in America, because I know how I felt about them. And I was young, I was 11 years old. But that beating every day in our heads that every Muslim was a terrorist was the idea that you got.
At a young age, I went to Saudi Arabia. And I don't think I've ever been to a country that was more hospitable to me. I go, wow, I was brainwashed.
Yeah, same. And so first I want to say, just like to all Muslims growing up during that time in America, I am sorry on behalf of America for the way that you were treated. It is so unacceptable. When I go back and I re-examine that propaganda, that brainwashing that took place in the classroom to make me scared of something, I didn't even know what a Muslim was. I remember going to the airport and someone was a Hindu and I was scared of it. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna make him take this off of his head, blah, blah. I thought that was a Muslim, right? There was no education about anything. And the reason for that, you know, he who controls the textbooks controls the entire country, in my view, right? It was because everything that we did responding to 9/11 should be assessed as whether or not they were crimes against humanity. We bombed 1 million Iraqi civilians. We killed 1 million Iraqi civilians. What were we doing in Iraq? The Saudis were on the plane. They just said there's weapons of mass destruction, and then they never found them. But in the process, they killed 1 million Iraqi civilians, right? And it made us think it's okay to just keep bombing Muslims. That was the purpose to me of that educational propaganda and brainwashing, is that we feel nothing for Muslims if they die. And that's so wrong. As a Christian, it bothers me. As a Christian, it bothers me that I allowed the school system to inform my perspectives to not care about human beings.
Yeah.